All right, welcome guys. Welcome. What's up? Welcome back to the video here on, I suppose, Bit of Everton channel. And it's but big one, of course, Monday night football. West Ham against Wolves live from Molyneux at 8 p.m. And that's a big time, a big moment for West Ham this week. Not just in terms of actual title of a game, but in title of how in context of how big of a game this is. Because we could go back into top four with a win in the in where's Wolves? Yorkshire, Midlands. Midlands. That's it. Sorry about anyone offended up there, but yeah, big game. Go forward after Chelsea's shock defeat to West Brom home to the Liverpool ones. They're above us. Spurs should beat Newcastle tomorrow. Everton should beat Palace. So the pressure's on, despite Chelsea losing. It would set us up really nice, especially going to the home game against Leicester next weekend if we were to win. But we're going to do a little short preview to this game today, and I appreciate Wolves fan Daniel coming on to this preview today. How are you doing, Daniel, man?
Oh yeah, Connor, mate, doing fine. Excited for the match.
That's good. Before we speak about West Ham, really, what's your assessment on Wolves this season, and what do you expect for that rest of the season from them? Do you expect more?
Well, Connor, mate, it's interesting because in our first two seasons we've came 7th and 7th, so I was expecting a bit of progress, but we've kind of had a bad season this year. But we have our next 5 games after West Ham are very good, so I think maybe we can get into the top 10, and that wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, I suppose let's speak about really the defensive side of the game. Really, you've conceded a lot of set pieces this season, which is, with tall players like Cody and Bowley back there and stuff. You haven't been that same rock this season. And how big of a miss do you think Doherty's been? Defensively, okay, he's a defender, so obviously he's going to provide a bit of defense back there. But going forward, is he made you lack a bit this season and being the big reason we haven't scored as much?
You could say that, kind of, mate. I think Semedo's done a pretty good job filling in that role, but the main reason I don't think we're scoring is because of missing the main man, Raul Jimenez. He's been a big loss this season.
Yeah, and obviously then, it didn't help losing Jota to Liverpool, obviously, and Jimenez out. And what have you think of the progress so far of, getting Fabio Silva in, 40 million record signing? Hasn't lived up to the heights yet, but, he's again gradually introduced into the team. Adama hasn't exactly done a lot this year, but do you think there's more to come from the likes of him? Your wingers like Pedro Neto, who's talked about at the moment, Podence. Do you think there's more to come in the Wolves locker in the attack point of view?
I think, yeah, we definitely have a lot more to offer, but I think we need to make a few more signings to kind of bolster our attack, because I just don't feel like we have a proper proven goal scorer to get the goals. We have the creative players, but we don't have the goal scorer.
Yeah, that's true. You create a lot, and in fairness, you're very. Nuno sets up his team in a way that makes it hard for teams and tries to create, use those full backs for width. And they went to the back forward once, and then they went back to that back three. And yeah, I think just the back three kind of suits a bit more, a bit of fluidity, a bit of width out wide. And again, it's all about putting that ball into the back of the net. And the last game, even the international break against Liverpool, you kind of had to create a lot of chances and you just couldn't really score. So, maybe Raul Jimenez, I heard, might be back for that game Monday night, which would be a big boost for them, even if it's only on the bench. So that's a big game. And of course, Patricio getting concussed before the international break, maybe he might be back, thank God it's not too serious. And, he's every player in your team, and any team really, is a big one, despite having, options off the bench. You don't want to affect that chemistry. And one thing that I think West Ham have benefited off this season, obviously the players that have come in have been brilliant, but you need to stick to that same 11 and keep going with them. And, you build chemistry, you build wins and confidence off them. So it's really important. But the main one, of course, for us, in my point of view, is West Ham. And I mean, we really have to look at the last few games. Okay, we lost to City and United. We bottled the lead against Arsenal. But we've done relatively well. We're still 5th. We've got a game in hand on Chelsea, as I said, in 4th. And, with 8 games left, we could be the top 4 in a very favourable position. So, you look at the last few games, conceded 3 against Arsenal, West Ham have. Against, United, we only conceded 1. City only conceded 2. We conceded none against Leeds, and we conceded 1 against Spurs. So we haven't conceded that much besides the Arsenal game. Now, in terms of scoring, we didn't score against United. We scored 1 against City. What was it? 2 against Leeds is 3. 3 against Arsenal, 6. and 2 against Spurs. So 8 goals scored in their last 5 games, which isn't a bad return against the Wolves side who struggle to find goals. What position what player, or more like in position going forward, do you think that Wolves should fear against the most?
Well, I think on form right now, I think the player we should be most scared of is probably Jesse Lingard. For both West Ham and England, he's been absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, he's the real player for you that scares me. He's very creative and he has a good shot on him.
Yeah, he's provided something extra that we just even missed initially, even what we were on at the moment. He's kind of stepped up a gear for a lot of our players, put kind of a benchmark of where we need to be at. And we've put ourselves in a situation, so we shouldn't have to rely on him. But the fact we've put ourselves in this situation now, we could actually push on from this. And he's been a really creative player, goals and assists, and supported then on top of that with Bowen. Fornals might be back hopefully. Ben Rama still looking for the first goal, and creates a lot. If he can improve tracking back, he could be a very good player overall for us. And Antonio up top, we've got a good foundation there. We've been very good defensively this season, but it's going forward, just putting those chances away, which we hope we don't get punished for in the game Monday night. But it'll be a really key battle, especially Creswell against Adama. I know Adama, as I said, hasn't done enough this season, compared to other seasons. But I think Creswell's going to get a tough game down that left hand side on Monday night. So a lot of key battles there as well. If Jimenez is back, or maybe that Willian Jose. What have you thought about Willian Jose since he's came from Real Sociedad? Has he stepped up to expectations?
I'm going to be honest, Connor, mate. I didn't have the highest expectations for him anyway, because I've never heard of him before. He hasn't been great. He's been what I expected. He's been a bit average. If I was West Ham, I wouldn't really fear him. He's not a player like Antonio or someone to actually.
Yeah, what player do you think suits Wolves' style of play? Does he just not suit it, you reckon? You there, Daniel, man? Hello? All right, Daniel's there a minute. But anyway, what we were saying, West Ham, okay, on paper the record hasn't been brilliant last few games, but we've got through Spurs, City, United, Arsenal, them, and we're still, could be the end, which is a brilliant. She would just imagine if we take the point off United or City, and lead against Arsenal, but it's got some big moments there that we're going to have to look back at the end of the season, regardless. We're very disappointed with it. But look, if we get 6th or 7th and look back and be disappointed at the end. But then, look, all right, Daniel is gone. Look, thank you, he can't gone or something. But look, yeah, he's back, all right. Let's quickly check that.
Oh yeah, sorry, my Wi-Fi cut out there.
Can you hear me, Dan, man? Huh?
Yeah, I can hear you, Connor, mate.
All right. Basically, anyway, so he'll talk when he's ready. On to some more things, I think. For a West Ham point of view, what I want to go in. I heard Masuaku might be back. Do I want him to start throwing straight into the deep end against Adama? No. Ogbonna, I think, in Yarmolenko are a week or two away yet, so we will probably hopefully have back for either the Leicester or Chelsea game, something like that, which would be a huge boost. I would go for 4 at the back. I think Wolves are boring enough. They're going to make it stubborn and hard for us, and we need players like Ben Rama, Lingard, all of them to stand out. We'll come back usually to combined XI in a minute. What I'll do is my predicted / preferred XI. My preferred XI would be Fabianski in goals, the back 4 like Arsenal, Creswell, Kufal, Dawson, and Diop. In midfield, Rice and Souček, Cam Lingard, left side Ben Rama, right side I'll bring Fornals actually in for Bowen. Bowen again adds a bit of pace and all that, but defensively it's Fornals little thing that makes him better, and Bowen hasn't been in great form recently. Antonio leads the line. Welcome a bit of a stronger bench. I hope we don't see 2 goalkeepers in the bench again. Maybe Biku with a chance, but yeah. Well, I think he's going to go. I think he actually will go 4 at the back. I don't think he'll rush Masuaku in yet. However, I think he'll take Fornals out in for Benrahma, unfortunately. So let's see how that goes. Um, in terms of what I see, I mean, look, Dawson, I mean, hasn't looked good on paper, scored 2 1 goals in these last 2 games, does it? But he's been a rock solid centre half for us this season. Just to work on the passing, which in fairness he's done. He's good at aerial duels. He wins. He's 1-on-1s. He's decent in. Just has to be less shaky back there. And Diop sometimes, I notice with him, he makes some interceptions. He's a bit positioning is a bit sometimes off the mark. He got let Rashford get a free header against Osmo played a few weeks ago, and only for Rashford missing the target, it was a goal. So he just has to learn a few little things there. But he's young, he'll learn. He's a fast centre half. He adds a bit of pace to Dawson beside him, and they both. If someone makes a mistake, someone's always there. But we badly miss Ogbonna, I still think, for a bit more leadership, albeit with a bit less pace. But saying that, Koufal had a brilliant international break. Creswell unlucky not to get a call up for England, but he getting joint top assist this season for a Premier League defender. Defensively, he has his flaws. He's a bit dangerous. Sometimes gets caught out, but overall, he's learning, and we can't overrule the fact that he still played well defensively this season for us and improved. So we got to give him credit where it's due there. He's got to stay tight in Adama. Don't let him aside. It's a 2-star week. You can let him. Rice, insane. That even these English international games have been up there with some of his best performances this season, and he's played some brilliant games in the West Ham shirt, let me say. So he's played a lot of games over the international break. Let's hope he stays injury free for the rest of the season. Let's hope he goes into the Euros in good form. Let's see how he goes, because he's a really key man going forward and defensively for us. I'm talking about man going forward and defensively. Thomas Souček, I mean, he's played 9 goals in the league this season for us. It's our top goal scorer. He scored a hat trick for for Czech Republic in the World Cup qualifiers. Brilliant overall. He's a real threat for us, and against those Wolves players, he could be a real threat in set pieces going forward. He's going to have to. I don't really see him ever have bad games. Benrahma, if he plays, he just needs to work on his end product more. You can see same with Lingard for England. He kind of just tries too hard to score, and that extra pass or two instead of shooting might be the difference of scoring that goal. He kind of has his own space out wide. Just needs to work harder, tracking back. If Bowen plays, he's played well recently. Lingard just keep going, and Antonio. Look, it's he's not a striker. He has a lot of chances. Maybe he should have probably scored a fourth against Arsenal. Unfortunately, didn't. Look, we'll have to see how it goes with him. But look, we need a striker this summer. I think we should be able to get one. But GSP out still, regardless, because they've if we don't get Europe, it's a main factor towards them because they haven't invested. But it's away from that talk right now. Before we end this, really, we'll do Daniel, you still there, man?
Yeah, I'm here, Connor, mate.
Oh, there, how do you, man? All right, we're going to quickly combine that excitement between Wolves and West Ham there, like the last day. So, in goals, what are we going for? Fabianski, Patricio? I personally think Fabianski, but what would you say, mate?
Yeah, Connor, mate. I think I'm going to go with Patricio, mate.
All right, fair enough. In left back, it's between Creswell and who's your left back? And Johnny. I mean, I think Creswell, honestly, especially on this season's form, and Johnny hasn't been playing much. So, what would you go for, mate?
I think Johnny has been good this season, but yeah, I'd say Cresswell just edges it with the attacking contribution he's added to the team this year.
Yeah, he's added a lot to us. And right back, I mean, it's between Semedo, who hasn't been exactly brilliant since he's arrived from Barcelona, against the brilliant Koufal. And, I think Koufal walks in straight to the lineup here. What would you say? Been a revelation for us.
Yeah, I'd say Koufal. Yeah, I agree.
Fair enough. Centre back, so it's between Diop and Dawson, and you kind of operate with a three at the back, don't you? But what's your backs like Saïs and Donker, Cody and Bully? I mean, I think Dawson gets in there. I'd probably go Connor Cody beside him. What would you say? Very slow, but sure. Still.
I'd say I'd pick Saïs and Cody, to be honest with you, Connor, mate. Saïs and Cody.
Really? Over not Dawson and their tall after a good season so far. All right. Fair enough. On to the attack now. What we going? We go 4-2-3-1 formation. I mean, we go maybe Neves and Moutinho against Rice and Suchek. Well, what are we going for there? I mean, I'm going to go Rice and Suchek, but up to you, man. What are you going to say?
Well, I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'd go Neves and Rice because Moutinho's injured. But if he's not injured, he's getting in over Rice any day of the week.
No Suchek.
No,
Ah, okay. On to the
Connor
left hand
mate,
side of
Neves.
midfield.
Connor mate, Neves is provides loads of goals and assists. He's very consistent, mate.
Yeah, look, that's the thing we got to watch. Actually, I think on Monday night as well. You know, I don't. I get mixed up. I mean, both of them are well capable of doing it, but Neves and Martino, I mean, give them a chance about 40 yards and they'll score. So, yeah, onto the left hand side now. I mean, we're going for maybe Pedro Neto here. Really, is a regular fee. So, him or Said Benrahma. What are we going for? This is a close one.
Day long, mate.
Say that again, man.
I think Pedro Neto all day long. He's a fantastic young player. I think he can do great things in the future.
Yeah, it's a close one really because they're both young. Benrahma did in the championship. Neto's kind of new to the league, and he still played well in the league. You know, he's done more than Benrahma so far. I think it's one if you're a Wolves fan, Neto. If you're West Ham fan, probably Benrahma. Just from what I know, Benrahma hasn't scored yet, but he's got a few assists and links up play well. I'd go Benrahma, but Neto's a quality player. Right hand side of midfield now is between Bowen and who's he up against? Adama. I think I'd slightly Bowen edges it just because Adama I don't see the product in him. But what would you make to Adama's game? And do you think he would be better than Bowen?
Yeah, I think I'd pick Adama just on that speed that he can unlock a defense easily. If he works on maybe his passing, his finishing, I think he could be a fantastic player. So yeah, I'd say Adama over Bowen, mate.
Yeah, fair enough. I think Adama is a very good player. I just think he needs to work, and it needs all being one of those things at him, in I suppose cam position is between well, you don't really operate with a cam, do you? You're more of a. I mean, I think we can all agree anyway. Lingard kind of just walks into that position, doesn't he?
Well, who's he going up against? Yeah, I'd say yeah, Lingard.
Especially if
Yeah.
he's going up against one. Anyway, on to the I suppose two up top. Really, it's for going on that. No, we're going one up top, aren't we? Anyway, we've got Antonio, and we're going to put Jimenez because I think he might be back. So who do you go? Who's your striker there?
Oh, Connor, mate. I think we both have to go for Jimenez here. He's been an absolute baller for the past 3 years, Connor, mate. He had an unfortunate injury, but he's just class, mate.
Yeah, I think Antonio offers a different type of game to teams. He in certain games, Jimenez doesn't be effective as he normally would be, and it's going to take a while for him to get back into things. But on his day, I think he's a goal scorer, and he's now a striker. So I mean, Jimenez is probably a man. Yeah, look, it's a big game on Monday night. Wolves could sneak near to the top half if they were to win. West Ham, I said, back into top four if they win. If they lose, could be about seventh or something. So it's really up for grabs. Again, thank you for coming on, man. Really appreciate it. Score predictions as well before we go for Monday night. What are we gonna say?
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna say a 2-2 draw, kind of, mate. 2-2 draw.
Yeah, I mean, I was a bit close. They're 1-1 boring draw that we just can't break them down, and they make it tough for us if we play bore. And if we were to win, I was thinking maybe 3-1 to us if we play really well. I'm going to be confident because normally I'm actually negative. Like the Leeds game, I thought we'd draw. I thought we'd lose the Arsenal game, and we've kind of came out and got something. I think the international break might have done as well. So I think we're going to go out and if you start at the front foot, we'll hold on this time. I'm going to go 3-1 to West Ham. I think Benrahma will get first goal. Fornals will come back and score, and I think Antonio will score. But look, hopefully we do well, and if we do, then happy days. Thanks anyway again for Daniel coming on, man, and really appreciate it. See you next time, man.
See you, Connor, mate.
See you, bro.